What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lamonts G Custom Knives Show, the number 3 podcast. Hell, I guess I need to put this damn thing on. Before I get started, let me give a shout out to my wife. She cooked one hell of a meal yesterday. One hell of a meal. Man, we had ribeye steaks. Well, actually, I cooked the ribeye steaks. But we had cabbage, cream corn, cornbread. Oh, Lord Jesus. I ate myself to death. Before I even turned the TV on Sunday morning, I had already had 4 bowls of cabbage because she slow cooked it overnight in the crock pot. Unreal. Unreal. I forgot about the cream corn. My daughter, she demolished half the cream corn. But just that cabbage and cornbread and that ribeye steak. And I learned a new technique on cooking my steaks. I grill them. I cook them any way possible, but to slow cook my ribeyes or any type of beef in the oven, and what I mean by slow cook, like on low temperature, for anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. Can't beat it, man. Can't beat it. Season up real good. But yeah, just want to give a shout out to my wife. She did that thing. Listen, there's a lot of things going on in the world, like it is every day. But the movement of people right now is like no other. And what I mean by that is, normally, any normal year, after after winter has gone and spring is coming, the grass is getting greener, the leaves are coming up, people move. People have been shut in for months, and at least people, where that's cold climate. So listen, sun is out and they want to move. They want to move. During COVID, we were. I'm trying not to get all political. We were stifled. We were stopped from that movement. And as COVID, after the years after, 21, 22, 23, after the lesson and lesson and lesson, you start to see that movement pick up and pick up and pick up. Well, we're in 2026 right now. You got people that's coming back from spring break, going on spring break, going to conferences. I mean, just moving. And the craziest thing about it, like I said, we're in 2026, and you have people who are stifling their movement. And what I mean by that, I don't fly, but many, 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 many people have been stranded at airports because the TSA is not getting paid. I think they're planning on moving either DHS or Border Patrol or somebody into these spots where movement can flow. And people want to get out. They want to move. They want to go. I'm not one of them people. I do plan on going on vacation here pretty soon. Haven't planned anything. But just like other people, I do want to move, I want to go to a couple of conferences, in Nashville and Dallas. Like I said, I want to go on vacation. I want to go to Mississippi, my to-go place, Gulfport, or either Gatlinburg. But my main movement is getting up and coming to work. That's my movement. That's my focus. And I know that's boring and, not really news or interesting, and, so be it. But people around me and people in the atmosphere, they're moving. Hell, you got the NCAA basketball tournaments going on. You got Major League Baseball is about to start up. You got the United Football League. I think it's USFL and don't give me the line, XFL or whatever. I just call it the United Football League. They about to get started up. So you got a lot of movement. It's springtime, things are coming alive. So I clearly understand it. Clearly understand it. And speaking of coming alive, let me just get off subject for 1 second. Talked to a buddy of mine, and he was talking about, man, this was 2 days ago, I'm about to go cut grass. So I said, you know what, maybe I should load my zero turn up, get on my gas cans, go fill them up, and start a little yard work, cutting grass or whatever. I walked outside yesterday after I had my fourth bowl of cabbage, and yeah, everything's green in the yard, but it's all weeds, clover and dandelions, which I harvest the dandelions and eat them. I love dandelions to eat. But I was like, yeah, man, it's all weeds. So I'm gonna give it another week. Um, Probably be the first week, either the last week of March or the first week of April, and I'm gonna start getting on that yard. I bought me a weed eater this year, cordless weed eater, and it's wonderful. Listen, I don't curse anybody who wants a gasless car, an electric car. I've had an electric lawnmower. I got me an electric weed eater now. I got an electric, a battery operated trimmer. So I don't curse anybody who wants to go gasless. I don't. Just don't want to, shove down our throats. But I want the option to go buy what's best for me, in other words. But yeah, I'm loving my gasless trimmer, man. God, it's lightweight. I bought this. If you get on YouTube and Instagram, you know how they have these stupid ads that that can't be true. I done got duped too many times, but they had one. It's like an all metal trimmer, and you can destroy grass and weeds, in seconds. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm gonna try it. I got it. Now my old cord weed eater, one that had to be plugged up, wouldn't fit on it. That was uh, it was some type of weird climate change type weed eater, but it had to be plugged up. So I had to drag a 100-foot cord around in my yard everywhere I went. This one is totally battery powered. I think each battery lasts 4 to 5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, that little thing that I got off Instagram or YouTube or whatever I got it off of, that ad, it actually fits on this. So I've been tearing crap up left and right. Now the attachments that they sent for to trim the weeds and the grass, they're all plastic. So I've tried one of each, and all of them done broke. So I'm like, okay, I can't use this cheap garbage. But they also have what looks like a circular saw blade in it. The attachment on that too. So don't know what I'm gonna try that out on. I'm not gonna try it out on up close, to destroy my foundation on my house. I might try it, a little bit close to the road, mailbox and places like that. But with that other piece that I got off YouTube or Instagram ad, I don't need nothing else. That does the trick. So yeah, everything's getting green, man. Everybody's moving, and that's part of life. Unfortunately, we got a lot of people leaving us. This past week was filled with a lot of deaths that people I knew. But life goes on. Life not going to stand still. Time's not going to stand still for anybody. So we got to keep kicking. Got to keep going. I I mentioned on the podcast that about the dangers of the internet, and I got some responses from from that podcast. It was a short podcast, but just explaining is some things that I see, some things that are out there in the internet world that are dangerous. And I got a response from a lady on Twitter. And listen, I know it's X. I keep saying Twitter, but that's what I know it as, Twitter. So I apologize. No, I don't. I don't apologize for nothing. But she way more educated on the internet, way more educated on Twitter and these social media sites than I. She said AI is playing a big part in the deceivery when it comes to internet stuff. And you also got your usual suspects from foreign countries, India, Africa. Well, Africa, African continent, countries in Africa, countries in Europe, countries in India that are very deceptive. Those aren't that hard to recognize because, listen, just think back to the last time that you got a deceptive phishing email. Words misspelled, not the proper alignment of words and letters that how we grew up and learned in school. So those are kind of easy to pick up on, even on Twitter. Where you got computers that auto correct everything. If you push the English tab, not hard to pick up. But with AI, AI is AI is what you feed it. So it's hard to detect when it comes to AI. It's hard to detect when somebody's trying to defraud you, and they're using AI to defraud you. You know what I'm saying? So she gave me a little bit more education, a little bit more insight, and I thank her for that. And she actually followed me, and thank you, lady. I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna follow you back for the simple fact I think it's the cool thing to do. A lot of big time social media cats, celebrities and athletes, they'll have millions and millions of followers, but they only follow like 5 people. I understand that. I'm not one of those people. I'm not famous. Don't want to be famous. Um, Not a big time internet personality, so I'm gonna follow you back. Now, I'm gonna follow you back on my conversationalist platform, not the sports one, because I don't want if that's what you into when it comes to me, that type of content that I put out, it's gonna be on that platform, not the sports platform. So I do appreciate you. Thank you, lady. And like I said, listen, I don't know if it's AI, if it's bots. I am getting heavy uh, visibility on Twitter and other platforms. I mean, heavy visibility. So, um, listen. I hope and pray all of them are real. I don't want any, false flaggers in my friends list or subscribers list. So it is what it is, man. But for those who do follow me and subscribe, I appreciate it. I really do. And listen, this is not geared towards really anything in particular. I just after hearing the news and seeing the traffic and hell, last night it was Alabama played and they won to beat Texas Tech. And I went outside to get a little bit of fresh air, just look up at the sky, and there were jets everywhere. I'm like, okay, I know in my area a lot of people fly private. You have a commute system from this area to parts of Georgia, parts of Tennessee. So I know there's a lot of private commute planes. But with TSA not being active, It's a lot of movement when it comes to that. And I just noticed the movement. The planes, the traffic, the trucks, the cars, and moving. I said, like, you know what? It's that time of year, man. Pollen's everywhere. Everything's turning green. I'm sneezing and wheezing and people moving. So that's the main focus of this. I really didn't want to get off into sports or politics or anything like that. But let me give a shout out to Alabama. They beat Texas Tech. Um, Going to the Sweet 16. A lot of people are saying in the Alabama sphere when it comes to sports, Kalen DeBoer, he's got to do a couple things with the football team, before he reaches that pinnacle. But Nate Oates, I think he could go to the Sweet 16, get destroyed by Michigan, and we still going to regard him as being one of the best ever been in that state of Alabama basketball. As far as that Crimson Tide, Whip Sanderson is that guy now. And Whip Sanderson, I don't think he ever went to a Final Four. Nate Oates did in his first 5 years. This is his fourth Sweet 16. So, yeah, Nate Oates is doing good stuff. University of Alabama is doing good stuff. Everybody's like, they playing that dungeon, Coleman Coliseum. Let me tell you something. I got history with Coleman Coliseum. When I went down to University of Alabama in 1990, we competed in music, choir, choral for state competitions, and we got a tour. And I tell people, that was my my visit. Now I was down there for a purpose to compete state competitions, but we did tour. We went to Coleman Coliseum, and it was absolutely beautiful. I don't call it a dinosaur. I don't call these old buildings dinosaurs. If the plumbing works, if the seating's fine, if it's safe for the fans and the athletes, upgrade. You don't have to tear down and build. Upgrade. But see, you got people that has that mentality. Oh, you got to tear this down and build another one to attract, the best basketball players. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have to get a certain type of athlete that's not just looking for the bag, not just looking for the money, that wants to be a part of that tradition. That building it's only going to be surface level visibility. In other words, as long as it's clean, as long as it's exciting, like I said, the toilets work, ain't leaking, fans ain't in danger, players ain't in danger. That's fine for them. You give them that bag, you give them their space where they can live, where they can go eat and do the good things. You got what Alabama has right now. Alabama basketball has never been the ones who attract the players who go to Kansas or UConn or Arizona. They never have been. But now they're getting them guys. They're getting the players who probably wanted to go to UConn or Kansas or Michigan State for that tradition. They're getting them guys now. And they're competing. The hell, like I said, for the fourth year in a row, I want to say, we're going to the Sweet 16 in Alabama basketball. We only do that in football. We don't do that in baseball. We only do that in gymnastics, softball. But now you can add basketball to it. And I'm proud of them guys. I'm proud of you, Alabama. I'm going to put this up probably when I get home tonight because I want them basketball players to see this. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the softball team, them girls doing their thing. And it's keeping the little bit of encouragement that I got going. Because college sports, primarily has taken a big hit with me. I mean, a big hit. And seeing Alabama, not only Alabama, listen, I love Alabama because I roll tide forever, baby. But, to see Michigan State, which I have nothing in common with except that tradition. Kansas, and I don't know if they won last night or not, but they ain't got nothing in common with it. Kansas, UConn, Arizona, nothing. But that tradition, because I remember as a kid watching these teams play at the highest level. And I want to continue to see these teams play at the highest level. I want to see your teams like your High Points who made a good run do good. I do. I want to continue to have that feeling. I don't have that feeling now, but to see these guys and gals continue to compete, and I know it's a different landscape, a different world, but they're competing, and I love it. And that's the little thing that's keeping me going, the one thing that's keeping me going. So, go to end with this. I said earlier in the podcast that there's a lot going on in the world. If you are one who stay in your little cubby hole, your cabin, and you don't react with the rest of the world, God bless you. I know people like that. But you got to have communication with humans, not just with your stanky dogs and cats. You got to have interactions with humans. So try to talk to somebody, family member, friend, neighbor, whoever. For those who have more than necessary contact with human beings, like in big cities, stay safe. I don't understand your mind, your thought process, but stay safe. I'm in the middle. I'm not a hermit, but I'm not a go-getter either. I don't want to be in a big city, but I don't want to be stuck in a cabin. I used to want to be stuck in a cabin and be away from the world, but God placed humans here to interact, to be fruitful and to multiply, to love each other, and that's how I see life now. And yeah, I enjoy seeing the people, even though all of them are not on the up and up, but I see people on a daily basis. I interact, try to give a little bit of wisdom, and go on about my business. But that's what it's all about. I love you. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. As always, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Oh, before I go, Grok. I Somebody gotta give me some information on how to interact with Grok, because I done told Grok 100 million times. I don't consider my podcast to be the number 3 podcast in the world. It's not. It was not even the number 3 podcast in Alabama. But it's the number 3 podcast. I wear the number 3, Grok. See it? Grok. I don't consider my podcast to be the greatest podcast ever. I don't. I wear the number 3. That's my number. But you guys stay safe, be blessed, and I'll see you next time.